We have seen the electromagnetic spectrum. Let us now study a little bit about radio waves. We will see in that spectrum we have all bands of waves like radio waves, microwaves, infrawaves. So where these waves are used and how it is used, let us look into that aspect. So radio waves are basically produced by an accelerated motion of charges, electric charges, which is a time varying current, a time varying electric charges, and they are generated by a transmitter and detected by a receiver. But this is a common feature, because these waves, they are not visible to eyes. Out of this entire spectrum, only visible light waves are, that is what we can see, like sunlight. But these waves, radio waves, we cannot see. Radio waves wavelength also, out of the lot, it is more. It is greater than 0.1 meters or 10 centimeters. Okay, and they are developed using this accelerated charge. Okay, and the application of these waves are in television, radio, the mobile communication, what you are seeing, the voice communication. We use radio waves, and they again, radio waves again can be further classified into different bandwidths. So depending upon the frequency. Okay, not all radio waves are of same type. So you have AM band, which is between 530 kilohertz to 1710 kilohertz. Kilo means 1000. You have shortwave band, which is between 0 to 55 megahertz. Mega means 10 power 6. So TV waves you have between 54 to 890 megahertz. So shortwave band cannot be used for TV bands. The bandwidth is different. Then you have this radio FM. That's what you see. Between 88 to 108 megahertz it is. So these waves, because the wavelengths are very less, they are identified by the frequencies. In that previous video we have discussed that this frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional. Very small frequency, very high wavelength. Very high frequency, very small wavelength. We have one more, UHF, which is ultra high frequency. Okay, the application is basically in the voice communication. So the next type is microwaves. So microwaves are produced by special devices. They are called vacuum tubes. Some of them are clystrons, magnetrons, gun diodes. These names are required. Sometimes they may ask in an exam. So like a multiple choice question, you should be able to know. In any standard textbook you will find them. How they are produced is beyond the scope. Here we are only restricting ourselves to application. So microwave, it is in the name itself. When coming to the wavelength is less than the radio waves. Alright, you have to remember the chart which I have given, the arrow mark. So it is in the decreasing side. Wavelength is even more lesser than the radio wave. Microwave ovens, what you have heard, they are using it. It is also used in the radar system. Radar system has its military applications. Then you have air traffic control. Then you have like if you go to countries like Dubai and all that, they install a machine on the road, and the high speeding tickets are issued. So there, they will put a speed limit, and when you exceed the speed, it will show a reading in that. So in that type of devices also, microwaves are used. Okay, and in sometimes the tracking of the satellites also they are used. So basically what happens is, you have two parts, one is a transmitter and one is a receiver. So suppose while aeroplane is there, an aeroplane is there, and this is the airport where it has to either landing or take off. So it has to land. So it cannot just land like that, So it has to ensure that any plane is before him, or air traffic. Like you have a road traffic. When you are going on the road, the car is followed by another car behind or in the front. In India you can drive like anything, but there has to be traffic control, and in aeroplane it is even more dangerous. So for detection of any other aircraft, whether it is there, they use these kind of microwaves. That is what is the radar system. So basically in this you send the waves, and it will hit an object, and there will be a reflected wave. Okay, if there is no object, the waves will travel. Even these waves are not visible to human eye, and the waves will simply travel. So suppose there is an aeroplane which is asking for permission to the airport authorities that he wants to land, then they will give a confirmation. How they will give a confirmation? They cannot make a call to the person sitting in another aeroplane, right? So they will send the waves. So suppose one aeroplane is here, another aeroplane is here. Okay, so they will send the signals, right? They will send the signals. So here the distance is less, he will also receive it. Let us say he receives the signal back in 0.1 second. That means there is some object, whether it is an aeroplane or what it is, that's another thing, but there is an object which is obstructing it, and that is why it is received back. So they will give a indication to the pilot in the another aircraft that you have to wait. This person also has to land. So in simple language I am trying to tell. However, the process is not so simple. Just to understand what actually happens. Okay. So it has a transmitter. A transmitter is something which transmits the wave, and a reflected wave is received by the receiver. Even in military applications, it has, submarines use it. So it is a very quick and very accurate way of detecting any obstruction. It gives a definite idea about some obstruction, which is sending the wave back. Ovens, it is used. Okay. So basically, when you take a what is the purpose of an oven? Like you have some chapatis or something, which you want to. It has become very cold. So you can heat it and have it, right? So what is the purpose of putting in an oven? Oven, the only purpose is that it uniformly heats the object. Okay, every object has an inner core and an external core, right? This is, let us say, object. This is the inner core, right? So when you try to heat an object, especially a food item, it should have a uniform heat, not that externally it is made very hot, and internally inner core is not heated properly. Then it will simply burn off, it won't be tasty. So you cannot simply heat it using a pan. So you use a microwave oven which runs on the principle of microwaves. Microwaves, what they do, they have a property that they are absorbed by water, fats, sugar uniformly. So basically, how do you heat an object? Let us say you want to heat a water. Alright, you put it under heat. What will happen? Initially, there won't be any movement in the molecules, but then they will start randomly moving. Okay, so there is a random movement. So it increases the kinetic energy, and thereby the water gets heated up. So this heat is giving that random motion here. But suppose if you give a wave to it, even then you can achieve this random motion. Suppose this random motion in the molecules has a wavelength, So that is exactly provided by another wave, let us say a microwave. Then what will happen? Without heating it also, the water will be heated up. And here the water will be heated up in a more uniform way. And if you take any food item, it will have a water content, it will have basically a fat content, a sugar content. So these are the ingredients which are going to take that, you know. So um, in like, you know, there is a metal bar, you heat it here, the heat travels in the conduction mode. Same is the principle when you take a food item and heat it. By conduction, the heat from the outer core will go to the inner core. But here the benefit is that even the outer core and the inner core, they get heated uniformly, because you are not basically heating it, you are supplying the wave. And wave has this property, you know, it can travel in a medium. Even it is obstructed by a medium, it will travel. You take the example of a light wave. Okay, so this is one very good quality of a wave. Okay, so that we will discuss in detail in upcoming chapters, why it happens like that. But that is the thing. So when you use a microwave oven, it uniformly heats the food item. And microwaves, because their wavelength is very less, they are suitable for that. You simply cannot just pick up any wave and try to do this, you know. So microwaves are very much suitable for that. So here conduction way of heating is not required. So basically using the excitation method, you are exciting the molecules of water and sugar and fat ingredient in the food item, and it is uniformly heated up. Let us next move on to IR waves, infrared waves. So obviously their wavelength is even more lesser than microwaves. So infrared waves basically are like, you know, you heat an object, you get that. In fact, any object which has a certain temperature, you know, it produces infrared waves. Even a human body, you know, you take a pan and heat it, it will produce an infrared wave. So these are also not visible to human eye, and one good property is that they are absorbed by the water. Okay, so one application you can see in your day-to-day life is a TV remote. You know, a TV remote has a small red bulb, which is basically the LED. So without moving from your place, you send the signal to the picture tube, and thereby you are able to switch on the TV. So infrared has that kind of application. Okay, the pointers what you use also has an infrared device in that. And one of the good things is that, you know, this greenhouse effect is what is because of this. So what is the greenhouse effect? Let us say there is our sun is there, it is giving us heat, you know, light, heat, everything it is giving. This is earth, so it is sending all type of heat waves to us. So all the objects on the earth will be heated up, right? So, and when they are heated up, some object is there, some building is there, very good temperature is that day, 40 degree, 45 degree. So what will happen? The concrete, the steel, everything will get heated up. So like that, you know, this sunlight is heating up the entire earth, you know. So what happens to this after this heating process is done? These objects will emit infrared waves. Just now we have studied that infrared waves are created by objects which are heated up. So they will try to escape into the atmosphere, right? From this is earth, this is sun. They will try to escape. Now in our atmosphere there are some gases, carbon dioxide. You have carbon dioxide is there, CH4 is there. These type of gases are there. They try to absorb this. Okay, and they send this heat back. If they don't do that, what will happen? Life becomes unsustainable on the earth, because for sustainability of life on earth, you need some minimum temperature. That is exactly the reason why life is not sustainable on Jupiter, Mars, Uranus, Saturn and all these planets. Isn't sun sending all the light waves to them also? But then why it is not effectively, there is no life is there? Because whatever the heat that should not escape, So it helps in minimum warming of the earth, which is at some particular temperature only living organisms can survive. Okay. You need some special type of glasses to view infrared waves. Okay. And here one more point is that nowadays a lot of factories are coming up, a lot of traffic pollution and all these things. So all these are already you are getting a lot of heat from the sun, and added to that human activity. So this carbon dioxide which is trying to absorb this heat and all that, there is a limit to that. So that is why this topic has environmentally become a very a burning topic. So whatever nature is giving us is ample. So because of industrialization and all that, a lot of factories have come up. They are releasing a lot of heat into the atmosphere. So all this creates problem for our mother nature. Okay, because even the protective layer has a limit. Next is the light waves. Light waves, you are already seeing it, sunlight. Our visibility is because of light waves. If our retina is not able to scan it or view it, we wouldn't be able to see this world. So light waves are in the range where our human eye can detect, and they are visible to us. Okay. So their frequency range is 4 to 7 into 10 to the power of 14 hertz. So light waves, are they harmful to us? Means they are not harmful to us. Okay. And the most important application is that we are able to see. So most of the things what you are seeing around is because of light waves only. So light is also an electromagnetic wave. Okay. So light is not just it's a wave basically. So when you are seeing a blue bulb or a red bulb in your room, basically it is emitting waves, and those waves, when they are hitting your eyes, you are able to see them because they are in that range. Had they been in the microwave range or radio wave range, you will not be able to see them. So if you are not able to see, you cannot live, first of all. Imagine a world where no one can see, because everything is emitted in a frequency which is not visible to you. Then no activity can be done. Okay. So that's why no point has been written over here, because everything is based upon your light waves only. Next is ultraviolet waves. You are calling it ultraviolet rays also these days. First of all, they are harmful to us. They burn the skin. So when you go under a hot sun, what they do is basically they create melanin in your skin, and it tans your skin, tans your skin. So ultraviolet rays has that kind of an effect on your body. And how they are produced means the object has to be very, very hot, something like sun. Not simply heating any object will make ultraviolet rays. Not heating your pan, put a water inside the kettle and burn it, and then ultraviolet rays will come. Means no, infrared waves will come, but not ultraviolet waves. Okay. So their wavelength is very, very less, so they can be converted into a very thin beam of light. So this is your eye, this spot you want to target. So this much thickness light has to be sent. So it will if you want to do some laser treatment in the eye, you cannot take a knife and cut it. Nowadays laser treatment has come, so they are going to use all these waves for treatment purpose, for any those medical terms I don't know, but small incision and all those things, incision they want to do, they will be using that. But however, these waves are harmful to us. They don't do good to us, so we should be careful with them. So one of the protective gear in the earth which is protecting you from ultraviolet waves is the ozone layer. You might have studied about depleting of ozone layer. So ozone layer is something which is preventing us from ultraviolet waves which are released to the sun. So because of this pollution and all that, this ozone layer is a protective layer. So if you deplete it further, so we will be directly exposed to ultraviolet waves. And why ultraviolet waves are produced? Because sun is at a very, very high temperature. Okay. So next in the category is X-rays. X-rays you are very familiar with. whenever a fracture happens to a person in an accident or something, the doctor says that go and take an X-ray. Why he says to take an X-ray? Because you want to see the bone of the person. If you take a normal camera and take a photograph, you will see the person, you cannot see the bone. So if you have to see the bone, you need to have some rays which penetrate through the flesh and take the picture of the bone. Okay? So that type of rays are required. So X-rays are very handy in that type of situation. So X-rays have the ability to penetrate through low density materials and get absorbed by high density materials. So your flesh is a low density material basically, and so it can pass through that, but it gets absorbed in the bone which is at a higher density. So you can see that when they take the picture, the bones look a little dark. Okay, the bones look little dark, and the doctor can pinpoint where exactly the fracture has occurred, or he can take a decision based upon the X-ray report. The thing is that one should not be too much exposed to X-ray. That's why when you go to any fracture department, they say that you have to get quickly out of that. It is not that you will sit there for 1 hour and have this filmography going on. It is not like that. They are harmful to our human body, and it's a very good diagnostic tool. Again, you are moving from radio waves to X-rays. You are moving in the decreasing order of the wavelength. The previous video you can see I have given the ranges. So you are moving in the decreasing order. So it's a very good diagnostic tool also. X-ray diagnostic tools mean based upon that you can come to a conclusion that what type of ailment is there. So basically how X-rays are produced means you take high speed electrons and bombard a specific metal, then X-rays are produced. It is a procedure. Okay, X-rays can be developed. The procedure is that you have to take electrons at a high speed and bombard a metal, and they are harmful and they are useful in the cancer treatment. So basically what happens is in a cancer is the cells get multiplied, the cells get multiplied. So you have to break the chain. So how to break the chain? You use X-ray to break the chain. However, by doing this, some good cells also get destroyed. It's a painful method. Okay. So to a certain extent, X-rays are useful in that. Last one is the gamma rays. Gamma rays, these are produced in nuclear reaction. There is a chapter in modern physics where we will be studying about how gamma rays are produced. Okay. The gamma rays also are very harmful to human. Okay. They are produced in a nuclear reaction, and gamma rays have intense energy. The gamma rays also have some medical applications, like they are also used for the, I have not written here, but for cancer treatment also they are useful. Okay. But having said that, it has to be used very carefully, because all these UV rays, X-rays and gamma rays, first of all they are not visible to us. Second, you get exposed to them, internal damage starts happening. The cells are, what is a human body basically? Human is made up of cells only. If the cells are damaged, then the human will suffer, the man will suffer. And because they are not visible to human eyes, you don't even know that you are exposed. Supposing that you are in a nuclear reactor somewhere, so you don't even know that you are getting exposed to that. So high amount of precaution has to be taken. So these are some of the points which we have to discuss in this chapter, and please make a note of all these points and how they are used and where they are used. Okay, just take a snapshot.